Will somebody tell me if we're supposed to start the program?
Freeman hits the ball to right field.
Into right field. She is gone.
Oh, what a pass. Doncic, perfection there on the assist. A little magic from Doncic.
Stafford takes the shoulder, takes a shot downfield. It is caught by Nakua. He picked him on his shoulder and made the catch.
One-of-a-kind player. One-of-a-kind season. Shohei Ohtani starts the 50-50 club.
This game's in the Admiral refrigerator. The door is closed, the lights out. Butter's getting hard, the eggs are cooling, and the jello is jiggling.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the LA Sports Roundup Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Andrade, sitting here recording live Monday, February 23rd, 2026. I hope you guys are having a great start to your week. Tons to get into this week about the Dodgers. They have started their Cactus League spring training this weekend, and they have accepted an invitation to the White House. And the Angels owner Arte Moreno has made some stupid comments about where the Angels are at and what their priorities are. And I'm going to get into a big difference between the Dodgers and the Angels organizations. And then we're going to switch over to basketball. The Lakers are going to bring in a Dodgers executive, and are they just waiting for the season to be over to start the offseason? We're going to get into all of that, guys. But first, I need to mention this, guys. We need to up our numbers. We need to get more subscribers. We need to get more people spreading the word about Lace 'em Up Sports. And that's where you guys come in. Like, hit, subscribe. Follow us on all of our social medias at Lace 'em Up Sports. You can find us on Instagram, on X, on TikTok. Guys, subscribe to us, follow us there. Also, you know, this is where you're listening to the podcast mostly, on Spotify. Hit us up, follow us on Spotify, up our numbers there. You can follow us on YouTube. That's a big channel for us. All of our content is being posted on YouTube. And if you have any questions for either this podcast or Wrestling with Ryan and Mike, you can hit us up at laceemuptakes@gmail.com. Also, a special thanks to everyone that viewed our Wrestling with Ryan and Mike podcast. The latest one we recorded last week, the one about AEW. Is AEW doing better business right now than WWE? A lot of people tuned in on YouTube. That's one of our highest rated YouTube videos for as far as podcasts go. So I want to thank you guys tuning in and supporting. And yeah, just keep supporting and doing your thing, guys, and let's up those numbers. So the Dodgers opened up spring training play this past weekend at their Cactus League in a big win over the, they're always going to be the little brother LA Angels of Anaheim. The Dodgers kicked their butt in a dominant 15-2 win, and the Dodgers bats came alive early with huge first inning runs. They scored 2 of them, but Hee-Sung Kim delivered a 3-run RBI. Teoscar Hernandez had 3 hits and delivered on 3 runs as well. And Andy Pages chipped in with a double and a triple as well. Yoshinobu Yamamoto was also very solid for the Dodgers as he ramps up for the regular season and international play, but he delivered 3 strikeouts in 1.5 innings for the Dodgers. It's basically like we picked up where we left off in the World Series. I know it's spring training. I know these games do not matter, but a 15-2 win to open up spring training. I mean, you can't get any better than that to start up spring training when everyone is just hitting on all cylinders. And the Dodgers followed that up with a 5-1 win over the Padres, showing depth. Man, they scored 4 runs in the 3rd inning to turn the game into their favor. Contributions up and down the lineup included Will Smith with an RBI, and a non-roster infielder, Nick Zenzel, delivered a key 2-run double. Pitching was strong as well, highlighted by scoreless frames from Jackson Ferris and Will Klein. But the Dodgers are going to continue to ramp up guys like Shohei Ohtani into the lineup as a designated hitter. These guys are also preparing for the World Baseball Classic coming up very, very soon. So it's a ramp-up period for these guys. Do not expect them to play a whole lot during the spring training, especially because the World Baseball Classic is coming up. And so with that said, though, I look look to see a lot of the younger guys out there. Do not expect any of the veterans to be playing anything significant right now. This is a time just to get their bodies right for the upcoming season, as baseball is such a grueling season as it is. Add on top the World Baseball Classic, and these guys really need time to recover from last season, as the Dodgers 2 years in a row have gone back-to-back and, full into the postseason, as they need time to recover their body. But Shohei Ohtani has been used as a designated hitter for each of the first 2 games. He's also been doing simulated innings and bullpen work as he progresses his way towards a two-way season, as the Dodgers will again be using him as a starting pitcher. But don't look for Shohei to be pitching in the World Baseball Classic for Japan, as the Dodgers and Japan have come to some sort of agreement emphasizing long-term health over spring training games and the World Baseball Classic. I mean, look, if they really needed Shohei Ohtani to pitch in the World Baseball Classic, I'm sure Shohei would be more than obliged, but as for right now, he's not really expected to be pitching much in the World Baseball Classic. But one guy who will be pitching for Team Japan in the WBC is Yamamoto, who threw 30 pitches in his spring debut against the Angels, and that's kind of where you expect him to be right now, as he's preparing for both the long season and the WBC. But Freddie Freeman's approach is being deliberate with his spring work, focusing on plate appearances and to prepare his body for timing and the full season ahead. That's according to True Blue LA. And a couple more key guys. You have Blake Snell, who's delaying his ramp up, so to speak, because of off-season shoulder fatigue. A guy like Blake Snell, who's been in the majors for a while as a starting pitcher, you just really want to be able for him to take his time into the regular season, as we saw last year when he got injured at the beginning of the season. So for him just to be ready by the time June, July, August hits, that'll be the more appropriate thing for Blake Snell, rather than having him in April and May. But Evan Phillips, who they re-signed during the offseason, is recovering from Tommy John surgery and is targeting a mid-season return. And Kike Hernandez is still out after elbow surgery, but is working back towards throwing in swings. And then Brock Stewart, coming off shoulder injury, not yet throwing in games, but the team is hopeful that he'll be back sometime soon. One thing that the Dodgers are gearing up for, and it's not anything on the field, it's going to be an invitation that they have accepted to the White House. President Trump has invited the Dodgers once again to come to the White House to celebrate their 2025 World Series championship, and again has garnered a lot of attention into whether or not the Dodgers should accept the invitation or not. The Dodgers have accepted the invitation, and they will be, at some point during the season, going to the White House to visit President Trump, so they could be honored at the White House in Washington, D.C. A very polarizing decision for the Dodgers to accept the invitation to the White House, and I can understand in some players' minds you want to be able to separate politics from sports, and it is a tradition for teams that have won the championship, World Series, NBA championship, Super Bowl, to go to the White House and be honored by the president. It is one thing to separate sports and separate politics, but the city that the Dodgers play in, there has been a lot of polarizing and controversial things going on in our city, and not just in LA. It's happening everywhere in this country. Our country is very divided when it comes to politics. It's been the most divided it's ever been in our nation's history, and majority people are either Republican or they're Democrat. Yes, you're going to have people that kind of fall in between, and they're this party or they're that party, but for the most part in this country, you're either Republican or you're Democrat, and it's not my job to tell you which is right or wrong. Everyone is entitled to their own belief system in which they think fits them the best, and it's not my job to sit here and tell you what is right or wrong. But what I can tell you is obviously the injustices that has been happening on these streets to so many good-hearted people in this country. And yes, you can label them as immigrants, you can label them as illegals, whatever you want to say. And we're not here to discuss whether they should be here or not. What we are here to discuss is the fact that people have been racially targeted in our streets, and it has been happening for quite some time since the Trump administration has taken over. Obviously, racism, systemic racism goes back to God knows when, right? Nobody's denying that. But since the Trump administration has taken over, we have seen an ambush on these people in our communities. And whether you vote right or you vote left, it is crazy that the fact that these people are being ripped away from these families. And not just that, people are being killed left and right from ICE agents all over the world. And in the streets of Los Angeles, throughout Southern California, this has been a rampant thing going on for quite a while now. And a lot of people are taking it as a slap in the face to their community if any organization is taking an opportunity to align themselves with the Trump administration. And, to be fair, maybe this isn't what it's about. I can see it from both lenses. Maybe it's about upholding a tradition, whether you agree with what the president is doing or not politically. Maybe it's about upholding a tradition that has been withstanding in sports history. And whether you like to agree with it or not, maybe for some players, it is an honor to be able to meet the president and to be able to celebrate the achievement that they have done in winning the World Series back-to-back years and having that at the White House. For some people, they will never ever be able to have an opportunity to go or be invited to the White House. Not just some people, majority people will never have that distinct honor invitation into stepping foot into the White House. Maybe this is an opportunity for some players to live out their dream and to do that. And you can't fault them for being able to take that honor and agreeing to this opportunity, whether or not they agree with what the president is doing or not, or whether or not they even like the man. Because God knows there is a lot of people that do not like President Trump, and for good reason. President Trump has done and said a lot of sickening and vile things since he has taken over back as president. And even in his first run as president, he did a lot of sick and vile things. And, I don't blame you if you don't like the guy, okay? But if you do like the guy, okay, maybe you do want to be able to separate sports from politics, all right? It's like, separating church and state, too, you can be able to enjoy both things without them mixing. Take the NBA, for example. When the NBA was in the bubble, they went so political with the injustices that were happening, and right for the NBA to do so, because of their culture, because of everything that was going on. The NBA decided to put on the court Black Lives Matter. They had jerseys that had injustices on them, and that was good for the NBA, but also it came at a price. The NBA lost a lot of viewers because of the decisions that they made. There's people out there that adamantly believe that sports should not mix into politics, and that is their own prerogative because, honestly, it is two separate entities. And then there's an understanding where sports should bleed into politics because it's not just about the game that's being played, it's about the representation of where the teams are playing, in what town they're playing, the cities, and it's a representation about the fans that come into these games and support the people that are playing, support the owners, support the players. It's about the fans that invest their hard-earned money into these games, into these leagues. Because without the fans, what do we have? We saw it during the bubble. How exciting was sports during the bubble when we didn't have any fans? It wasn't exciting at all. The fans are the heartbeat of sports. And when you take a political act, and such a polarizing political act like in accepting the invitation to the White House in a cabinet that does not give a flying fuck about colored people, It definitely is a slap in the face, and I can understand and I can be sympathetic towards people that feel that way. But also, there's both sides of the coin here. It's basically a very impossible situation for sports leagues to be in here because on one hand, you have a heartbeat of fans that drive in money for your team, that drive in money for your league, and you want to be able to support them in any way, shape, or form because they are the driving point to your sales. But also, you have to keep in mind, you can't convalesce to one area or one specific fan group. You have to convalesce to all specific fan groups that are paying for your league. The world is so divided on where they stand, whether they are left, whether they're right, whether they stand in the middle. The world is so divided that it is an impossible situation for teams and leagues to kind of acquiesce here. if you're asking for my personal opinion, I don't think the Dodgers should go to the White House because I do think it is a slap in the face to their community. Need we may remind everyone of how many people they pissed off when they went through the whole Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence fiasco. We all remember that, about how during a Pride Night, they invited, and this group has been around since the 70s, but during Pride Night, they had invited the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, a well-known San Francisco order of queen and trans nuns that were performing during a Pride Night at Dodger Stadium during a game. But they got raked over the coals from this, from a lot of people claiming that they were anti-Christian and this and that. And, I believe, was it Clayton Kershaw that spoke up after that saying he was so offended. Look, it was Pride Night. You can't acquiesce to both sides. People are going to get pissed off no matter what you do. No matter what you do, people are going to be pissed off. Okay? But again, this isn't the first time that the Dodgers have been under hot water. And it isn't the first time they have pissed off their fan base. There's a long history about, even when Dodger Stadium was being built, they basically gentrified the entire area where Chavez Ravine is and basically isolated a lot of Hispanic people out of that area just to build the stadium. And that's something that is not talked about, but is definitely being mentioned when it comes to the long history of this team, and not in a good way. There's a lot of things that over the years that have happened, and maybe, look, the Dodgers went to the White House last year, and they again were raked over the coals, but not as much as it is this year because of just how much we have seen from the Trump administration, just building upon this radical movement that ICE is performing every day in this country, terrorizing our country. I understand it, I do, but again, I'm going to sit here and say, look, it is an impossible situation for the organization to be in because you can't just serve one area of your fan base, even though it seems like it is the majority. It's not. You have to serve all parts of your fan bases, and it's an impossible situation for the Dodgers to be in. And again, whether you think sports and politics should be separated, or whether you think it all kind of bleeds in together, the fact of the matter is that the team is going to the White House at some point at some point this season, and they're going to be celebrated by President Trump, and it's a controversial move nonetheless. But one thing that everyone agrees on is Angels owner Arte Moreno. He spoke before spring training started this past weekend about where the team is and what their priorities are. And he said, believe it or not, winning is not in their top 5 when it comes to priorities. Yes, the owner of the Angels said that winning is not in their top 5 of priorities. I mean, if you are an Angels fan, I don't know how you can continue to support this organization, even if you are such a die-hard Angels fan. Like I don't know how you can continue year after year for about 20 years, just continue to support a team that does not give a flying fuck about their fans, does not give a flying fuck about winning, and the owner just said it. But hey, look, according to him, they made improvements on the stadium, and that's what matters most to fans. According to Moreno, the number one thing that fans want is they want affordability. They want safety, and they want a good experience when they come to the ballpark. Believe it or not, winning is not in their top 5. So according to Arte Moreno, the loyal Angel fans, the fans that are still left through all these years of all their bullcrap of not being able to even reach the postseason once in the last 12 or 13 years, hey, they don't care about winning. They just want a good experience when they comes to going to the ballpark. He says that the moms want to be able to afford to bring kids, which is, obviously, look, that's true. In all retrospect, yes, you want to be able to afford coming to games. Look at the Lakers, look at the Dodgers. Even though the Dodgers, yes, are back-to-back World Series champions, it is becoming more and more difficult to go to games because of the price of the tickets. Look at Laker games. I used to go to a lot of Laker games, and now I can't even afford to go to multiple in the season because it is really, really difficult. I mean, if I'm lucky, I'll go to 2. If I'm lucky, but really, I just try to save my money to go to one good one, right? I did go to a Palm Springs preseason game, but look, you have to be able to save up money to go to these games now. It's not like what it was back in the day when you could get into Dodger Stadium for $5 or buy Lakers tickets for under $30. That's not the case anymore. These ticket prices are outrageous. I mean, look at Ticketmaster alone. I mean, for a Laker game, you're not going to pay anything less than about $70, $80 to get into the arena. And that's playing a subpar team. Imagine playing a team like the Oklahoma City Thunder. You're going to pay top prices to get into the building. Same goes with the Dodgers. It matters with who they're playing, but you're not going to get into that stadium for under $70 as well. I get what he's trying to say here, but that's when he goes, that is the main priority for fans. It's not. The fans are dying. Angel fans are dying for a winning product, and that's what keeps the stadiums full. Look, like I said, it is really hard to keep going to these Dodgers and Laker games, but continuously they are selling out every single game. You go to a Dodgers game, it is packed. Why? Because the team is winning. You go to a Laker game, they're not winning as much as we want them to be winning right now, obviously, but it's still the team is doing well, so the people keep going back. That's what keeps driving in people. But according to Moreno, he goes, the moms want to be able to afford to bring the kids. Moms make about 80% of the decisions. They want to be able to bring their kids. They want affordability. They want safety, and they want to have a good experience, so they'll get all the entertainment stuff or whatever. The Pierce, it's just straight winning. Look, yeah, he's not wrong when he says the moms make about 80% of the decisions. He's not wrong about that. But come on, man. Come on. That's just a bullshit fucking cop-out answer for you to give. Right? They want the entertainment. They want the I guess, like the giveaways and stuff, like the little foam fingers and maybe some bobbleheads. Yeah, maybe that's what kids want if they're like 4 years old, but majority of these people going to games don't care about that stuff. They want to be able to see a good winning product. If the team was in the playoff hunt, look how packed Angel Stadium would be. And people would be posting about it. But no, they haven't been in the playoffs in forever. Their last winning season was in 2015. 2015. My gosh, we're in 2026 now, okay? And they have continued to finish last or close to last in the American League West every single year since. And so, idiotic comments at a time when they also reduced the payroll to $50 million as well. And so, they're not just bad, but they're not even close to being competitive when it comes to the payroll and trying to get guys to bring up the value on this team. It's not happening. That's not what they care about. That's not what they care about at all. Arte Moreno goes in to say, they lost money with their broadcasting rights. I guess they had went from Fox Sports to, they call it Main Street Sports, which is basically FanDuel. But the Angels are without a TV contract right now, and they are losing significant money from that deal for a second straight year, and are now in the process of deciding whether to produce their own games, which about half the MLB does, or the MLB will produce it for them. So basically, the MLB will basically decipher their games where they want it to be. I do see, it's the Angels. They're going to be on TV no matter what, but they aren't producing any Cactus League games, any spring training games right now, because they don't have a deal. So they're losing significant money. Look at where a lot of the money the Dodgers are coming in. Look at a lot of the money where the Lakers are coming in. It's from their TV deals, Sportsnet LA. It's a part of their deal. This is where they're getting their revenue from. This is sports and this is entertainment, for everyone now. WWE, look at they're partnered with Netflix, NBA. Look, they have so many streaming platforms. They're on everywhere. WWE is on everywhere. Okay, but the teams have their ability to either produce their own content on their own channel or basically decipher it wherever they wanted to go. But the fact that they don't have a contract right now is pretty astonishing. So I'm pretty sure something will get done in that regard. But yeah, the Angels are losing a lot of money in that regard. But Arte himself says he still enjoys being the owner of the Angels, and he is not looking to sell. That is something he has made adamant. Arte Moreno does not want to sell the Angels for whatever reason, whether it's boosting his own ego, fulfilling his own needs as a person, but he does not want to let go of the Angels, and it is to the detriment of the Angels. Any Angels fan knows that. Anybody that watches baseball knows that Arte Moreno, him owning the team, is a detriment to the team, and the team will go nowhere with him as owner, and it's only going to get worse as years go on. But hey, they paved the pavement at Angel Stadium, so there's not going to be any cracks in the foundation as you walk. There may be cracks in the foundation in the team, but there's not going to be any cracks in the foundation as you walk to your seats, and so that's good, right? You're going to get a lot of giveaways. That's good. You know, hey, we all need those little clapper hands that they give out, or little bracelets, or a little foam finger, or some bobbleheads. That's cool. You know, they could sell a lot of 2002 World Series memorabilia for as long as they want, because that's going to be the only World Series they're going to have coming up for a long, long time. But according to Arte, you know, hey, look, everything's good. Moms are being able to bring in their kids. You know, and that's all that matters. And he enjoys having a losing team, and that's, you know, something that it fulfills him. So, Angel fans, I'm sorry. It doesn't seem like Arte Moreno is letting go of the Angels anytime soon. And, yeah. But you know what, though? It's okay. It's okay, Angels fans. You can still come over to the dark side. You can still come over, and, you know, we're not going to call you bandwagoners. Okay? Just come over. Because there's only one real team in LA, and that's the back-to-back World Series champions. And so, look, you can just come over. You don't have to watch that subpar team. Don't give them any of your money. Okay? You can come watch a winning team. You watch it on TV because it's really hard to come to the stadium. And okay, switching things over to basketball, the Lakers are making some headlines as well, as the Lakers got basically their ass beat yesterday night against the heated rivalry Celtics on NBC. What an embarrassing game. I mean, the Lakers could not throw a fucking pea in the ocean. The refs also did a great job at screwing us over, missing a ton of calls, especially two goaltending calls that were just ridiculous. But either way, the Lakers played bad, and the Lakers, although we are not a bad team, we're not a very good team at all, and the Lakers are kind of just stuck in the middle here. And I feel like this season is just going to be a wash in the sense that LeBron, he's just playing out his final days as a Laker before he goes to the Cavs next season and plays his final season in a Cavs uniform. This is really just a wash for us to get over this season and for us to really do big business in the offseason trying to build a team around Luka Doncic and all. Obviously, we're still going to be in the playoffs, but we'll be lucky if we win a first round. I mean, if you think about it, who are we better than? Are we better than Oklahoma City? No. Are we better than Denver? I don't know. I don't think so. Are we better than Houston? I don't think so as well. You know, we'll be lucky if we win a first round playoff matchup. Right now, it's not the focus on winning a title this year, but the Lakers are making moves to bolster up the long-term success of the franchise, as the Lakers are hiring a Dodgers executive, Lon Rosen. Rosen becomes the Lakers' president of business operation. That is a huge role for Rosen to become. I'm going to read you an article from ESPN.com saying longtime Los Angeles Dodgers executive Lon Rosen is moving into the Los Angeles Lakers front office in the latest significant change for the 17-time champs organization following its sale last year. Rosen will be the Lakers' president of business ops, the team announced Thursday. He replaces Tim Harris, who is planning to step down after 35 years. Yeah, Tim Harris has been with the Lakers such a long time in that role. Rosen has been with the Dodgers, executive vice president and chief marketing officer since 2012, the same year Mark Walter purchased the baseball team. The Dodgers have become a powerhouse under Walter, as we all know, and they are now back-to-back World Series champions. Walter finalized his purchase of the Lakers in October, buying a majority ownership from Jeannie Buss and her family from a reported $10 billion sale. This is, quote-unquote, finding someone who could fill Tim's shoes overseeing the business side of our organization would never be easy, Buss said in a statement. The answer, we soon realized, was someone both Mark and I knew well and who already understood the values and culture and commitment to excellence both the Dodgers and the Lakers have. Lakers general manager Rob Pelinka said earlier this month that the team will begin emulate aspects of the Dodgers' successful front office structure. The Lakers have long perceived a running one of the NBA's thinner front offices, and Pelinka said, Walter, the Lakers intended to add depth and talent across their off-court organization. This is... Okay, so reading this, I'm like, wow, this is something that Rob Pelinka is saying. He better be careful, man. Because if the Lakers are not successful, he might be on his way out too. Because you hire in new ownership. He's not loyal to Rob Pelinka. He's not loyal to Pelinka at all. Even though I think Pelinka has done a pretty good job delivering a title to LA, delivering Luka Doncic to LA. He's done a pretty dang good job, and he has earned that extension that he got last year. But Mark Walter is not loyal to Rob Pelinka, so he better be careful with his words there. But big business for the Lakers. This is huge. As I said, I think the Lakers are going to be really, really restructuring the front office, and it already has been. And they're really going to be big fishing coming in the offseason. I really feel like this is the offseason for the Lakers. This season is a wash. The Lakers are not winning a championship this season. What the Lakers are going to do, they're going to play out the final days of LeBron James as a Laker, and they're going to be done with him. That's it. He's going to be off the books. Once LeBron James is off the books, it's going to be off to the races for the Lakers in terms of building this team around Luka Doncic. Okay? And it is a long-term structure here in terms of building that team. And the Lakers have done a fantastic job at building the assets in the front office in order to do this. I think this is huge, and I think this is going to be, over the long run, a successful partnership between Mark Walter and all of his guys coming in to restructuring this Lakers organization into getting us into title contention once again. But okay, that's going to do it for today's podcast, guys. I want to thank you guys for tuning in as always. This has been the LA Sports Roundup Podcast. I want you guys to take a moment and clap yourselves on the back for all of your support. And I want to thank you guys sincerely from the bottom of my heart. Remember, guys, hit like, subscribe, follow us on all of our social medias at Lace 'em Up Sports. You can email us at laceemuptakes. I still got to get that one right. laceemuptakes@gmail.com. But yeah, thank you guys for your continued support. Until next time, I'll see you.